And this section, 2.8, is the final section before the midterm exam. The midterm exam is next week. This is the last new thing that we're covering, and it's not anything new, actually. Yeah, that title right there, dimensional analysis, it seems scary, but it's really just solving multivariable equations. What do I mean by multivariable? Normally it's just, hey, solve for x, solve for y. Because there's only one x, there's only one y. But yeah, we're talking about many letters, right? So here's an example. Solve for a. And we have this equation. And look, there's not even any numbers. It's just ab equals c. So where is a at? On the left side of the equal sign or the right side of the equal sign? It's on the left side. Is it by itself? No. There's a multiplication of b right in front of it, right? It doesn't say a plus b or a minus b. It actually says a times b. So a is on the left side of the equal sign. I want to get it by itself on that left side. I don't want that multiplication of b, so I'm going to get rid of it by doing the opposite, right? If there's a fire, turn it off with water. If there's multiplication, get rid of it with what? Division. So you're going to put division, the division bar, the fraction bar of that value that you want to get rid of, the multiplication of b. And when you do to one side, you do to the other side. Then it cancels out. And what now? Nothing. That's it. A equals C over B. Pretty easy, right? So that's why we started with the activity right now of just solving basic 1-2-step equations, because this is all the same thing, but instead of numbers involved, it's just letters, right? So you might be dividing by A, multiplying by A, adding T, subtracting D, whatever. Let's actually take a look at today's worksheet. Ladies and gentlemen, the assignment on this worksheet that you're about to get, it's to do 2 through 20 even, and also 3 and 17. Now, I already made a video explaining the even ones. I just want to do a couple of these. I'll do specifically 3 and 17 with you. Here's 3, and let me explain how this is written out for you. It says to solve the following equations for the given variable. They're telling you to solve for r. So it kind of confuses people because it's really close to the equation. This has nothing to do with the equation. It's just telling you what variable you want by itself on one side of the equal sign. So we want r by itself. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the equal sign. Where's r? Is it on the left side or the right side? It's on both sides of the equal sign. So I don't want r's on both sides. I only want it on one side. So there's many roads to the same place. Which road would you pick? What do you do to get rid of one of those r's? Which one do you get rid of? Add r. That's a good one. So if you add r right here to get rid of that minus r, and of course if you add r to the left side, it's going to be off balance until you add r to the right side. And yeah, right here they cancel, right here they don't. Right here, r plus r is what? 2r. Okay? So let's bring down the equal sign. Let's bring down the q. And what are we solving for, q or for r? For r, okay. So we need to get this r by itself. And what's happening between the 2 and the r? You're multiplying, which means that we need to get rid of that multiplication. Divide by 2, cancels out, divide by 2. And there we go, r equals q over 2. R equals q over 2. That's your answer. By the way, the answers on the back of this worksheet are incorrect. I apologize. I made a mistake when I made copies. So don't even check the answers on the back. In order for you to check the answers, watch the videos that I've uploaded today, all right? And of course, if you want, just fast forward to check your answers. Let's move on to number 17. This was another one on your homework. This one is as interesting as it gets. They want us to solve for p. Okay? So we need to get p by itself. Here's the equal sign. The p is clearly on the left side of this equal sign. Now, there's all kinds of junk around the p. There's this division of 5. There's this addition of 9. So we need to get rid of things. And most of the time when we have fractions, we get rid of those fractions first, right? So let's get rid of that fraction. How do we get rid of any fraction? Multiply by the denominator 5 in this case. And yeah, I put this multiplication of 5 up on top because that way you have a 5 up on top divided by 5 on the bottom, and 5 divided by 5 cancels out. It's 1. And of course, if you multiply by 5 on the left side, you also have to do the same to the other side, or else you're going to be off balance. You got to keep the equality. So what we have left is p plus 9 equals 5 times r, which is 5r. And again, we are solving for p, so we need to get this p by itself. I do not want this plus 9, so what do? Subtract 9, cancels, subtract 9, and my final answer will be p equals, I cannot subtract 5r and 9 because they're not like terms. If it were 5r take away 9r, yeah, that would be 4r, but it's not 5r take away 9r, it's 5r take away 9. I can't do it, I'm just going to rewrite it. So 5r take away 9. That is my answer.
You can't leave it as a fraction?
Well, it's not a fraction anymore.
Oh.
You know, it's p equals 5r take away 9. But there's going to be some where you do end up with fractions. Let's see, like, which one? Let's take a look at number 14 here, even though it's not part of your homework. Right here, they're telling us to solve for c. And is c on the left side of the equal sign or the right side of the equal sign? It's on the left side of the equal sign. Okay, so let's get this c by itself. What do I do to get c by itself? Subtract, divide, multiply, what? Okay, how about this? Let me ask you this. What's the most important thing here if they want us to solve for c? C is, you want to isolate it, right? Now, if c is the most important thing, a is with the c, it's kind of important. This guy is all by itself. What do you get rid of first? No, let's not shut up. You guys are both saying the right answer. That's good. So yeah, we're going to subtract 6j. Both of you are correct. All right? So you subtract 6j, and you end up with 8c equals, now I cannot do 5p take away 6j, so I'm just going to rewrite it. 5p take away 6j. And now for my final step of getting c by itself, what do I do? What do I have here? I have 8 times c. So to get rid of that, we're going to divide by 8. And what I do to one side, I do to the other side. I could do this. I could do the whole thing divided by 8 because I can't really divide any of them by 8. So I could just do the whole thing divided by 8. And that would be my final answer. C equals 5p minus 6j, all divided by 8. That's a perfect answer right there. But let's say you're taking the midterm exam next week, which is in multiple choice, and you do not see that answer on your multiple choice. They might take this divisor and split it to each of the terms. So they might write it like this. C equals 5p divided by 8 minus 6j divided by 8. Okay? And not only that, if you don't see this as an answer also, then maybe they take this fraction, 6/8, and they actually reduce it by 2, and it would become 3 over 4. So another possible answer is C equals 5p over 8 minus 3j over 4. That's another possible answer. So why am I giving you all these possible answers? They're all correct. So on the quiz that we take, well, the next time we have a quiz, if it's an open response quiz, I'll accept either one of these. But I'm writing all 3 of them because on the multiple choice, they're only going to give you one. And you might get the right answer, but it doesn't look like it. But you might think, oh, I messed up. But you do have the right answer. All you got to do is split that 8 to each of them. And let me just show you why we're able to split the 8. Let's take it to something really simple. What is 2 plus 4?
6.
And what is 6 divided by 2? We know that the answer is 3, right? Now, if I wanted to, I could take the divisor 2 and split it to each of these. Check it out. It would be 2 divided by 2 plus 4 divided by 2. And you'll see that it still gives us this same answer, 3. Because 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 1 plus 2 is that answer, 3. So I'm just showing you that you could take that denominator and split it. You don't have to, though. All right? Anyway, the assignment is to do all the even ones. We're doing 2 through 20 even, and 3 and 17, which we already did on this video. If you want the explanation of the other even ones, please watch the other video. Let's work on this for the rest of the class. Midterms next week. This is the last section.